Okay, I have a very important announcement and a very important PSA. If you are a woman, I highly advise that you watch this video until the end. I will try to make this short, sweet, and to the point. We've made a wonderful breakthrough when it comes to the sacred secretion process for women, and a lot of this has to deal with not only our own personal findings and learnings, but also because of the awesome women's workshop group that we've been putting together. We have roughly about 30 women now who are signed up for our next meeting. It is currently closed until we can experiment a little bit further, give more of these ladies an open platform, and then we will be opening back up for more people to join if interested. Again, this is a free workshop for women who are dedicated to learning more about esoteric spirituality and the feminine side of healing. So with a lot of this wonderful information, I can actually recommend a couple of books that seem like they were doing well. If you're experiencing any forms of trouble in your marriage as a lady, or if you're interested in learning the higher speculative conscious love-making techniques, I highly advise a book. I don't have it on my desk right here, but it is called Cupid's Poisoned Arrow by Marnia Robinson. Great book. Highly advise that. If you are more interested in learning about the healing cycles of the body, check out Red Moon by Miranda Gray, or another really great book. I highly recommend this one because this one blew my mind even on a couple of things. Womb Awakening by Bertrand. It's actually a couple, Bertrand and Bertrand. So if you're interested in learning more about this, I'm going to probably start making more videos, or at least do courses or something along those lines. But I just want to make this PSA, like I said, short, sweet, and to the point for the ladies out there. We have heard time and time again the sacred secretion process is not working for women. We have, again, like 20 or 30 women that are sitting in a group call every single month now, and we're talking about the fact that this is not working for the women. Why? Well, it turns out that the moon and sun cycle process for specifically women is probably inaccurate. This is a speculated theory that we've had for a number of years now. We haven't been able to find a lot of information on this. Well, now I've been studying about a specific Swami who was a Hindu spiritual teacher. His name was Sivananda. Sivananda. And his entire concept, he even had his own school, was on brahmacharya. I think I'm saying that wrong, but it doesn't matter. This is basically a very similar healing practice of the sacred secretion concept. And Sivananda talks about the semen and how important it is for the male body. And specifically for the female body, it would be the ovum. It would be the ovulation phase of the body. I want people to have this time marked that we were probably the first people ever on the internet to talk about this, so that when people do steal our ideas, which they often have done for the last 5 years, they won't be able to say, oh, I came up with this, or I'm the one who discovered this. And it's, again, we didn't discover anything. It's just with so many people on TikTok and YouTube and everything else, there are so many people trying to pretend like they came up with something. They will put their face right on top of an esoteric concept which has been around for thousands of years, and basically they're trying to say, I am the face of this, I am the person who's doing this, it is me, I'm perfect, I know everything. And guess what? They don't even know this. They don't know a lot of the deeper concepts. We have been studying this for a very long time, and we have been putting this to practice, and also working one-on-one with men and women, dedicating our personal time to ensuring that this process is becoming accurate. It does not work for the moon in the sun cycle for the female body. The female body already has a cycle. So with the woman's body, I'll start with menstruation first. During menstruation, this is your light sacred secretion period. This is where you basically want to do the very similar things of the sacred secretion. It's just more so focused on relaxing. You want to mainly relax. This is where your body's purging, and it's getting rid of a lot of unnecessary things. However, on the flip side of that, shortly after menstruation, about a week later or so, you'll reach ovulation. During your peak ovulation is where you want to be practicing the sacred secretion process. You have a couple days before, a couple days after. You're talking about a 3 to 7 day window, preparation phase, maximum peak of ovulation, and following. Now, what if you've already hit menopause? It doesn't matter. What matters is you try to find where your body would be in the flow of that cycle. If you're not synced up to somebody else, look for where the phase of the moon was when you were born. This is called the Dr. Eugene Yonash fertility method. Look at the phase of the moon of when you were born. That is supposed to be where your body ovulates the best. So all you have to do is train your body. So for example, go to your search provider online. I'm going to tell you guys how to do this because I love all of you guys, but I get comments and there's millions of them. They're all asking the same thing. There's a reason why we don't just give this information away. It's because this is our livelihood and our practice, okay? So we help people actually get on track with this, and we have the evidence to prove that we know how to do this. And again, don't conflate this with a Kundalini rising. These are two very different things. You want to activate your Kundalini, your neurological body, whilst your body is going through the sacred secretion process, because it will elevate your frequency level. It will elevate your consciousness. It will start activating all the bells and whistles. But these two are not the same thing. Just because you have a neurological, biochemical response, physically, your body has been doing the sacred secretion process for years, ever since you were a teenager. That's where it starts to kick in. That's why you change as a person. So anybody who's saying, oh yeah, you're going to feel like this, and I mean, we've even said this before. We didn't know all of the details. It's still okay in reference to the videos that we've made, because it's just about getting awareness. But this is what you got to do. Google your birthday and see where was the moon, what the phase of the moon was. So the phases would be full moon, new moon, quarter, waxing gibbous, waning gibbous, whatever. Find the phase of that moon for the women and see whatever phase that is, track that every month. That is the best optimal time, according to Dr. Eugene Yonash. That is the optimal time for your ovulation to occur. Which funny is, you're still going off of the same methodology. Where was the sun when the man was born? Where was the moon when the woman was born? That's what you're going off of. That's the way that it actually works. That's why there's two separate genders and there's two separate objects, the sun and the moon. The sun was always considered the masculine, the moon was always considered the feminine, esoterically speaking. Even if you go to the Japanese Shinto, which is a little different, they have their own thing. Anyway, this is the point. Go and look up the phase of the moon and try to track your cycle. Let us know if this works for you. When you are ovulating and you reach that peak fertility day on your ovulation, if you have a normal menstrual cycle, you're outside of menopause, you're younger, this will work very, very easily for you. And you want to get into the flow of that, and then when you do hit menopause, you want to track roughly where that ovulation is. Now, if you already have not done that in your past menopause, like I said, look into the Dr. Eugene Yonash fertility method. Find where the phase of the moon was when you were born. Try to train your body to feel the energy that would be basically radiating from that genital region internally of the female body, and then try to align it properly. Now, just keep in mind, women can also sync up with other people. They can sync up with their husbands, their friends, et cetera, et cetera. Even on menopause, you can still sync up energetically with other people after you've reached menopause. So just keep this in mind, but I would love to hear some feedback as to whether or not this works for women. Please let us know. Basically, ovulation is the peak of your sacred secretion, but you also want to use that menstruation time, which happens a week prior, for the preparation. You really want to prepare. So you got that 2-week period where you're kind of like going through menstruation and ovulation, and then you have the other 2 weeks through what's generally scientifically called the luteal phase, where that's more of like a kind of an open time for you. But again, this is a lifestyle choice. This isn't just about, oh, I'll be good now and I'll be bad later. This is a lifestyle choice, so you have to make those decisions for yourself. But if you are interested in working with us and you want more information, feel free to email us. I will be busy until July. I am very, very booked, very, very swamped, but I love every single one of you guys. Hope that this PSA was inspiring and it was informational. And if you guys have any conflicting data, or if you have any points that go against this, we would love to hear it. Email us, drop a comment down below. You are going to notice that the people who don't know anything about this are going to be very silent. They won't be able to argue against it. So lots of love, many, many blessings to each one of you guys. Take care.